Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Nonstop Talking with your girl here, Vivian Liu. I didn't think I was going to film a review for Knives Out, but after watching it and discussing it with 3 of my friends, I realized how much fun it is to talk about this movie. I don't know how a solo discussion will play out because I'm better when there's someone to like bounce off of with. Anyways, I wrote down everything that I wanted to say, so here goes. Welcome to Movie Thoughts 2 for Knives Out. If you don't know, Knives Out is a modern whodunit tale. Just after his 85th birthday, prolific author Harlan Thrombey, played by Christopher Plummer, is found dead at his estate. Detective Blanc is mysteriously hired to investigate, and everyone in his dysfunctional family is a suspect. I saw the trailer for Knives Out and thought it was really intriguing. I got one of my friends, Jenny Cow, to watch it with me after reading so many or hearing so many glowing reviews. My friend and I both agree that Knives Out is a fun murder mystery. I can see why so many people would love it. It's super entertaining with multiple crazy twists and turns. Plus, the pacing is fantastic and the setting is really well done. All the random and eccentric trinkets just placed throughout this old and beautiful mansion brought joy and suspense. Furthermore, the acting in this, particularly the core group of people, is superb. Overall, I thought it was quite good and would highly recommend it. I've already recommended to some of my friends or other friends, but I don't know if it's still showing anymore. Although my rating won't be as high as others, I still found this movie entertaining and was thoroughly impressed. I ended up giving it a 3.6 out of 5, and that ends my non-spoiler portion. Now let's analyze this film. The true main character is Martha, and the actress Ana de Armas blew me away. I don't know if I'm explaining this properly, but I feel like she has very strong like facial acting abilities, but you get me. She has 2 men acting opposite of her. So the first would be the detective played by Daniel Craig, and then the second is Ransom played by Chris Evans. Daniel Craig really tried with this accent, and honestly, I can't tell you whether it's true success or not, but to my annoying ears, I thought it sounded pretty great. In my mind, they are like the core 3, and I just thought like they were fabulous. Before I dive deeper into my over-analytical thought process, I wanted to highlight or like share some things. First, I did note that Knives Out gets quite somewhat political, and I don't think that it was brought into discussion that seamlessly. Secondly, for an ensemble cast this big and for a movie this long, I felt that most members of the Thrombey family didn't get their time to shine. I attribute this a little to the fact that the spotlight was too much on Ransom, and because of that, I think there were some things that were quite obvious just because he stood out so much. And what I mean by like other characters in the family not being able to shine, I think a prime example would be Jacob. Jacob, his role is so small that literally anybody else could have been in that restroom at the time and overheard the conversation between Harlan and Ransom. And in addition, there's also his mother, Donna. Like, did she contribute anything to this movie, this case at all? And don't be upset with this, but I personally felt that Meg was a little bit miscast. Third, this is totally a personal thing. Don't take it too seriously, but I felt that the final message and me, we just don't get along. And what I mean by that was that I feel that the final message of this film is the whole, if you work hard, if you are kind, you will eventually reach success, while those born into resources who don't try will fail. As an extremely jaded person, I don't believe in this overly optimistic, perfect ideal of work hard, be kind, and good things will come your way. It's too cheesy, and I personally find it unbelievable. But yeah, exceptions. However, this is totally a me thing, and just don't judge. I love the mystery genre, and I do watch and read a lot of stuff in the mystery category, so I like it when these things or these stories are able to lead me astray or trick me, which this movie did do at certain points, which is awesome. But I did figure out, I would say, like, two of the more major things I saw coming a little bit too early. And once again, this is also a me thing. I remember guessing one of the things and just like waiting for the movie to tell me that I'm right so that I could like gloat to my friend. Yeah. I'm weird like that. I love making predictions. Back in the day on my blog, I used to do halfway drama reviews where I would summarize the first half and then predict the second half. I don't do that anymore though. With a murder mystery film that's this long, I knew immediately right off the bat to not trust what was being told to me in the early stages. This isn't a short film, so there's a lot of times for information that was given earlier on to unravel. And one of the first things I figured was there's no way Martha is the accidental killer. There's got to be more to this. Immediately that just stuck. Martha is not the accidental killer. How can I clear her name? And that just started churning in my mind. And when we get that toxicology report with just the header, I was like, oh my god, someone switched the medicine. And I don't know, maybe other people figured this out earlier. My friend didn't, but I figured it out at that moment, and I was just like, oh my god, tell me I'm right. Next, I had to figure out who was it that switched the medicine. And because Ransom was so flashy, I was like, maybe it's him, but this one I wasn't sure about. The one that I was sure about was that Ransom probably hired the detective. So how did I come about this hunch? I think mainly, once again, like, Ransom stood out a bit too much, so you knew, like, okay, he has a bigger role in this, so that's one of the points. And then the second one is that the whole, like, the detective and Ransom not arriving at the same time, in the sense that the detective was already there and he already interviewed everyone else in the house because they were there before he arrived, and Ransom was the only late arrival. So I was like, oh, maybe it was Ransom that hired him. And so I got those two things I was more certain about, and I got those two correct. Thus, I kind of wanted the film to trick me a little bit more, but I mean, once again, it's a me thing, right? So, moving on, I thought that the blood splatter on Martha's shoe, when they first like zoomed into it, I thought it was gonna play like a really prominent role, but then it really doesn't, and I kind of was a little bit shocked that she even got blood splatter on her shoe. I thought she was a little bit far from the body. I saw some other people online asking about this question, but I guess she wasn't far from the body, and yeah, I was just not right about this. Alright, let's wrap up this review by discussing the conclusion. I actually quite like the final scene of Martha standing on the second floor porch ledge and the remaining like members of the family, Thrombey family, standing outside looking up at her. Plus the cup was like a really nice touch. I think it said, was it my coffee, my house, my rules. Yeah, it was a nice touch. It's interesting because people kept telling Martha like, oh, you know, you are a part of this family, but we can see it in their actions that it's not true, because nobody can remember where her family is from. And even though everyone was like, I voted in your favor to attend the funeral, she somehow didn't have enough votes in her favor to attend the funeral. But yeah, I mean, it was like kind of subtle but also clear, and I like the way that everything was presented between the relationship with Martha and the Thrombey family minus Harlan. One last thing about the conclusion. Harlan mentioned earlier in the film about how his family can no longer differentiate between real and prop knives, and this is confirmed when Ransom tries to kill Martha with the fake knife. I thought this was a very cool connection, but at the same time I was also really shocked because I was like, whoa, I didn't think that Ransom would go there or go all the way there. So I was like, impressive. Knives Out had its shining moments, and plenty of them, and I can see why so many people love this movie and is just giving it fabulous reviews. I enjoyed it a lot. I found it really entertaining and fun to discuss and analyze, but I did wanted or yearned for a little bit more from it. Nonetheless, I gave it a 3.6 out of 5, which is really high still, and I am like also like recommending my friends to watch it. And that's that. Outro time. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in my next video, whenever that is. Bye! Play by pleb.